Okay, so let's do an objective right now. The whole purpose of this video is for you guys to be able to read and interpret graph, identify y-intercept, and you also need to identify the x-intercept. What are the other names for the x-intercept, and how to interpret what a point on the graph really means. Okay, those are the three things that we need to figure out today, okay, on this particular quick video tutorial. So let's go and get started. Let's start with this one right here. Let's talk about what point A means, okay? What does point A mean? Okay, on this first scenario, let's start with identifying our ordered pair. The ordered pair for this is 2, 6. Now, if you're wondering what this means, let's go through the ordered pair. 2. What does the 2 represent in this particular case? It says 2 tickets that were bought. So you bought 2 tickets. And 6, what does 6 represent? Your money that is left. So you have money that's been left on in your wallet. So now let's talk about that real quickly. You have 2 tickets bought and $6 left. What does that mean? That means that if you buy 2 tickets, you'd have $6 left. That's what that means. Okay, so for practice purposes, I want you guys to try this out. This point D. Let's go ahead and identify our ordered pair, and that means it's 1, 9. Now what does this 1, 9 mean? That means that I bought how many tickets? I bought 1 ticket, and how much money do I have left in my wallet? If you said that you had $9 left in your wallet, then that means you're correct. Now you are able to identify what a point on the graph really means. So now, let's look at the 2 most important parts of this graph. Okay, let's start with this one right here. Before I ask you what to do this, can you tell me which axis does this point touch? If you said that this point touches the y-axis, you are absolutely correct. Now, what do we call a point on the graph that touches the y-axis? It is called the y-intercept. That is what it's called. Now, because we know the y-intercept, let's talk about what that means. We can identify what that means by doing again another ordered pair. How do I write this? That means 0, 12. What does this mean right now? How many tickets did we buy at this point? If you said that we bought no tickets, how much money do we have left? That means we are left with $12. Because why? We did not buy any ticket. Period. So that's what the y-intercept means. It is our starting point. We started out with $12. That's what our y-intercept means, our starting point. Now, let's go to the x-intercept. Again, why do you think it's called the x-intercept? If your answer is because it was passing through the x-axis, you are correct. Let's do a quick recap of what x-axis, another name for x-axis. Okay, there are a lot of different names for x-axis. One of them would be your domain, your input, your independent variable, that's your x. Now, the y, let's talk about the y real quickly since we're here anyway. This is going to be your y-axis. That means it's also your range, it's your dependent, and that's also our output. Okay? Remember your Dixie Roy? That's it. Now, let's go back to this x-intercept. What does this mean? Before we can interpret what it means, let's talk about the different names of x-intercept. There's a couple of different names for x-intercepts. Number 1 is, another name for it is referred to as 0 or zeros, depending on how many times it hits the x-axis. Another one would be your roots. Roots, the reason why it's roots is because it's coming up from the ground. Let's just not talk about that right now. Just remember it's roots. And then the third one is solution. So, how many names do we have for x-intercepts? there are 3 other names, all meaning the exact same thing, so which have a total of 4. The 4 names are x-intercepts, roots, zeros, and solutions. Those are the 4 things that mean exactly the same. Now that we have addressed what those are, let's talk about what they mean. We can easily interpret what this means if we write the ordered pair. So let's write the ordered pair for this. Okay? If you have 4, 0 as the ordered pair of this, let's talk about what this means. How many tickets do we buy? We bought 4 tickets. How much money do we have left? We have 0 money left. That's what the x-intercept means. That means that after buying 4 tickets, I have no more money left, or $0 left in my wallet. That's interpreting graphs based on your x and y intercept. Now, let's talk about finding slope real quickly. By the way, just going through this, if we start with $12 and we did not buy anything, and then after 4 tickets, now we don't have any money, can you guys tell me how much is each ticket? We can do that 2 different ways. We can start, all we need are 2 points to find a slope, right? So I can start here, down, 2, and 3. So how many times did I go down? I went down 3, means I go negative 3. Over, I go 1 to the right, which means positive 1. Now, because we went down on this axis of down, what unit was this? It means it's in dollars. So, what does that mean? It went down $3 for every 1 ticket. So, what does this mean for us? That means that the ticket cost $3 a piece. On this graph, it's dropping $3 for every ticket. So let's do a quick recap. Y-intercept is where it passes through the y-axis. X-intercept is where the graph passes through the x-axis. The 3 other names for x-intercepts are roots, zeros, and solutions. And do we understand what these points mean? Yes, that you do. Just look at the graph, look at the units, and you should be okay.